Hello, everybody. I'm Dwayne,
I'm Tom.
and this is
Our Recovery Life.
welcome everyone to the quarantine check-in. That's what we're calling this one.
Yeah. We really don't have, that's our topic. We're just going to, have a little conversation about the craziness that's going on. Because
Deep within the bunker.
yeah, it's definitely crazy out there.
It's tell me, how are you doing, and how do you see recovery going right now?
Well, I like the Zoom meetings. I don't think that I would like to, do those instead of the other meetings. I really missing the interaction, the fellowshipping, the stuff like that. But they're all right. I mean, I like them. It's better than nothing at all. I think it's really cool when people that from across the country get in there, and some new faces, some new perspectives. That's pretty cool. As far as the rest of everything going, I when this all first happened, I was like, I live such an extravagant lifestyle that I'm always out there doing all this stuff. I figured, I go to work, I come home, we do family things, I shoot these videos, and we don't really do too much outside of the house. So I was like, all right, well, it won't be so bad for me. Well, get a couple weeks in now, and I don't know if it's just the thought that I can't go anywhere or what, but boy, you get that claustrophobic feeling. Everybody's getting just stir crazy. It's nice out today, so we were outside doing a little trampolining, and I found out how in shape I am.
That makes two of us today.
Yeah. Oh man. But I've heard people that are really struggling too. Like, I don't know if my recovery is as strong as it was, and my recovery is pretty strong. I mean, it hasn't really suffered too much, but my mental attitude and my state of mind and my mindset's actually slipped a couple times on me. Like last week, I had some pretty down days, but all in all, I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. I really wish we could do these a little bit more you next to me instead of over there on the TV.
It feels weird. I think for me, man, it's been strange. Like right away, I was like, I don't really do a lot. It's like, I'm with you. I don't live an extravagant lifestyle. I don't go. I do my meetings. I go to your house and we do this. Just in general, don't really do a huge amount. I can tell you that right away I was like, what's everyone freaking out about? And kind of, I'm really behind the curve. Like, a lot of people freaked out, and I was like, patting myself on the old back, like, man, I'm mentally kind of in the groove. Like, I got things going on.
Yeah.
People are just losing their crap. And I was just like, this is fine. And then about 4 or 5 days ago, man, it got to me. Like, I'm not getting my hugs. I'm not getting my love. Minac coming up, canceled. Like, that's where I absolutely fill my cup for like my recovery and spiritual cup come together and just are brimming. It's that's where I double, triple, and quadruple down and get what I need. And so that not happening, and just a lot of no contact. So that is strange. And I think it just slowly wore on me, where I finally got to the point where my mental health wasn't very good. And I think every now and then I have a little dip that happens just because of my mental health, and that kind of happened. And so I have some alarms set up for me that when that happens, things I do, double down my meetings, a little bit more talking to the sponsor, reaching out to my network more. I tried doing those things this last week, but man, when your mind gets in a funk, man, it is really, really hard to just pop out of it. Whenever I'm hit my meetings, the in-person meetings, I can jump out of it a little bit quicker, but I think me and you have talked about it a lot this week, that once I get up in my meeting and start that self-talk of beating myself up, man, it's bad. But on the flip side of that, I stepped up a lot of my physical activity outside, walking at work up and down around the building and just kind of keeping myself going. And the Zoom meetings, man, I've really doubled down on those. And I've been to some meetings where people from Florida, UK, Australia, here in, I was just going to do an Australian accent, but hey mate, it's
Throw another shrimp on the barbie, shall we?
So, hearing that and hearing their perspective and how life is hitting them, and we're so far away, but our message, like geographical, we're so far away, but hearing, I think it is Joe, Australian Joe, his message was just hit me pretty hard, like same disease, total, everything geographical, everything is different. And yet his story, I'm like, yep. So I've really let that grab me and try to fill my cup. But I seen a meme about what's going to happen when we go to our first meeting, man. And I'm hugging some people really tight and just I cannot wait. And now they're talking about maybe this going a couple of weeks longer. And
I know.
That's the state of what our normal is a little different right now. And normal might not be what our other normal was. And that reality is kind of, there might be more changes, but might not be back to the change that we think, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Like what's going to happen after this is not going to be the same normal as before this. Like,
yes,
this is going to permanently change some things, and who knows what those things are going to be.
Correct. And, I might have to wash my hands for the rest of my life. This is terrible.
Oh, no.
Hopefully
hygiene.
Yeah. I mean, this is, but, embracing that change is something that maybe I'm struggling with. And I think a big thing that I'm kind of struggling with right now is, I just in general miss my peeps. I miss my, I talk about it a lot, that at the end of a meeting when we all embrace, it just, that's a power that I look forward to having it again. And if I can't have it for a while, you know what? I'm going to double down on these Zoom meetings and just going to really, really dig deep. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to adapt, and we're supposed to adapt and overcome. That's what us, addicts, us in recovery, it's what we do.
Yeah, well, that's what addicts do anyway, because I can tell you what, if I was still out there, I wouldn't be quarantining myself from drugs.
No. I might hunker down at the old dope man's house. Other than that, and that's the whole thing. Again, I'm trying to use the same perseverance. Like if, the local watering hole burns down, I find another bar.
Right.
If my guy gets popped, I find another way. So right now, that same flip side, our meetings have been shut down. So what do? We find other avenues. And me and you have talked to you basically every day now, just checking in, see how we're doing. There's a lot of other people that I've been kind of checking in with too. And hey, how you doing? It's got me and my sponsees probably a lot closer. And so there's a lot of benefits from this. And I think you hit on it, man. I felt love from people all around the country in one meeting. And, at first I was like, this will do for a little while, but if this is this way for another couple of weeks, man, it's all about up here, how much recovery I want to get from that. If I want to put up walls, I can, it's, and so, yeah, it's all about what we want, and us talking about different ways, how can we make this a little different, shake it up a little bit. You had some ideas. Throw out one of the ideas you had about.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we're gonna start doing maybe some interviews,
I really like that idea.
telling some stories. Kind of get to know some people and how they do it and what they're doing now. Maybe a couple of people who have found success in recovery. Um, so yeah, we're gonna shake it up a little bit and see what we can do. If you have any ideas, definitely comment.
I
And
think I really like the one you said. This is my story. That's my story.
that's my story.
That's my story. And just have a little summarized kind of that way, people from different walks of life, complete different backgrounds, and we can just, get that going. I think that'd be pretty cool. And having some interviews just, about how people are doing it. And I think that would be pretty cool too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's crazy. There was a thing at work. I don't know if I told you this. If we got time for a quick story.
Yeah.
There was a guy at work, and in a certain part of the where I work, and it's called the rubber room. And he was in the rubber room, and he
Been there before. Oh, probably different rubber room.
Yeah, different rubber room. Yeah, this guy is somewhat sane.
Okay.
All right. So he, thought he had like allergies or bronchitis or whatever dropped into his lungs. And so he called in and they told him to stay home and all of that stuff. But the funny thing is I just finished painting and I'm putting my stuff away and I turn around and I see two people in hazmat suits and all this gear and stuff come out of the rubber room and start walking down the hall. And I'm just like, what is going on there? So, they're in there disinfecting the whole rubber room, and now they're, keeping an eye on everybody that works in that section. And it's just like, holy cow, because, there's time clocks, computers, I just have a feeling if one person actually gets it, it's going to run through there rampant. So,
Yeah.
So that was a little interesting, a little scary, a little, made it a little more real. I don't know what it was about those two in those suits, but I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like it was E.T. all over again. They were, coming to take him away or something.
You know what hit me and made this real? I think me and you both kind of live the same life. We go home, we go to work, come home, and we're not really out there per se. Does that mean, are we getting old or?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. But I go to Walmart and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. There's people wearing their full kind of headgear, and then trying to get in. I have to go through this kind of aisle where there's one way in, one way out, and they're only taking so many people.
You have to go around the carts and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they're fully disinfecting the carts and just, I have allergies now. I kind of the last 2 years, and out of nowhere, man, my whole face starts on fire, and then all of a sudden I sneeze, and I can't stop it.
Right.
And I'm there in the old deli and produce section, and I lay out a sneeze, and it wasn't like a chew, it was like a kapow.
Right.
Yeah, talk about, it was like just, and the looks I got, and even the people with the mask, you could see over the little mask that they were like, hey. And just going through Walmart was, it made it real for me, like really real for me that we're at different times right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if I have to cough or sneeze, I feel like I have to go in my bedroom, shut off the lights, get under the covers, like.
In the closet.
Hide out.
But, it's all about keeping us all safe. And the quicker we kind of do this, the quicker we get back to quote unquote our, whatever normal is going to be like. And we're going to adapt and we're going to overcome and we're going to keep shooting these and keep putting recovery out there. The Facebook, all the Friday shares and people inviting friends and everyone giving content and just keeping morale up, man. That's really, really hit my heart. Making it everyone's, not just ours. It's our recovery life. So kudos and props to all of you that keep posting and keep this thing going, because we can't really do it without you guys. And to summarize, we're just going to keep carrying the message remotely, however it looks. And we're going to shake it up a little bit and do some interviews. And we're going to keep doing check-ins and maybe throw some curveballs in there and do some, That's My Story.
That's my story.
I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
And so on that note, guys, do some commenting, like, share, subscribe if you can. The YouTube channel, we'd really, really like to get some subscriptions up there and, keep fighting the good fight.
Hey, keep it clean.